15th August 1947. India gained freedom at the termination of the British rule. The swaying tricolored flag crowned the Red Fort of Delhi. Although 3 years before that, the tricolored had once swayed in the land of India. That day, the doom of the British Empire had appeared in the horizon. The Indian National Army, aka the Azadi Fauj, under the leadership of then Commander Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, had fought with their lives to end the British tyranny. Colonel.Shaukat Malik of Indian National Army had hoisted the tricolored flag atop Moirang, Manipur. It was 14th April 1944.
Though we got independence on 15th August 1947, however, many people believe that the real independence was on 14th of April 1944 when the Indian Army led by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose defeated the British Army and hoisted Indian tricolour at Moirang, Manipur. That day is called Victory Day also. And the credit for the independence of India goes to Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and his Indian National Army.
Though the formal announcement of independence in the year of 47 at the midnight hour of 15th August had overshadowed the significance of 14th April in the minds of the majority, the memory of it still shines bright amidst the people of Haryana's Kansala village. For it was a huge number of men from this village who had joined in with the military of Indian National Army that day. At the cost of their lives, the people of India had experienced their first taste of freedom.
While working in many departments of Government of India, I have travelled many places, and wherever I had gone, I have found people more respect than any other leader for Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose for our freedom struggle. When people of whole India cannot forget Netaji's contribution, then how we people of Haryana can forget Netaji's contribution when the many people from this area were in the Indian National Army of Netaji.
Heritage, tradition and patriotism are things that are passed down through the flow of generations. Similarly, the principles, courage and bravery of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose has been passing down through the generations in the Arav Bhardwaj family, and that has left its mark in both the lives of the son, Dr. Atul Bhardwaj, and grandson, Arav Bhardwaj. To them, ideal signifies Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, the epitome of courage and bravery, Subhash Chandra Bose.
Since early childhood, my father used to tell me stories about Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and other freedom fighters as compared to stories of Ramayana and Mahabharata. And the same stories were told by him to both my children, and that is how they had developed a feeling of patriotism in them.
When I was little, I travelled many places with my grandfather, and my grandfather told me stories about lords and freedom fighters of India. I got the most inspired by Netaji. Sometimes I also told these stories to my friends and they were shocked.
Arav, come here!
Today, when India celebrates the glorious 75th anniversary of its independence, the Netaji Bhardwaj feels it to be his duty to remind his fellow countrymen of the day that they have all but forgotten about. The day that had made its mark on the pages of history at the cost of 2,600 lives should be revived in the minds of the people. But how?
Many a times I used to think how can I spread the ideals and the contribution of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose to the people of India. At that time I remembered Swami Vivekananda ji, who travelled throughout India on foot.
When my father told me that he is interested in going on a cycling trip from Manipur, Moirang to New Delhi, I was really shocked and I was like, what illogical thing he is saying. But at that time my brother told me that either one of us will go and fulfill his dream. But then I was really shocked and surprised when my 10-year-old son Arav, he came over to me and told me, Ki Papa, I will go along with Dadu and I will be on the cycle to fulfill his dream.
When my grandson Arav Bhardwaj told me that he will go on cycle yatra to spread the message of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, so I was just thinking that he is joking. But however, when I found that he is serious, then I got little perturbed, and I thought that he, being a small child of 10 years, will not be able to do, and I was not prepared to take risk for his life and for his well-being.
When Arav told my father that he will be going on this cycling yatra, at that time my father cancelled the plan, considering that Arav is very small, just 10-year-old boy, to go on this yatra. So I thought that my father's heart is broken, so I need to accompany Arav, and that was the time when I thought that Arav, let's start cycling. I will accompany you in fulfilling your dream of my father.
So begins a special practice. The love for cycling of the father and son now gained a deeper purpose. Quite a few kilometers far from home, in a park, began a routine cycling practice along with physical training practices. To keep young Arav motivated, Grandpa Mr. Sen frequently attended the practice sessions.
Whenever Arav used to go for practice and I used to see him while practicing, I used to remember my childhood, and I feel that whatever he is doing it for me and to fulfill my will and wish. And I felt that whatever education, whatever sanskars I have given to him, they are good sanskars and good education, and I felt proud of him.
Arav was fond of cycling since his childhood, and when he got his new cycle, he was really excited, and he was cycling around with his father for long hours. But since some days I observed that they have increased their practice time and even started waking up early in the morning and going out for cycling. Then I suspected something is brewing up, and when they came forward to me with the plan, I said, no, this is not possible. Distance of 2600 km, a 10-year-old child, that too at the time of peak summer. Being a mother, how can I give him permission to do this?
When I discussed this plan with my wife Swati, she was very tensed and she refused. She said she won't allow Arav to go on this cycling trip. At that time, even I got scared that being just a 10-year-old boy, would he be able to do it? But then the second thought came to my mind that Sachin Tendulkar started playing at the age of 10. If his parents would have thought that he would hurt himself, the world wouldn't have got its best batsman. Being a father, being a doctor, I realized that my son, if he has thought of doing something big, I need to push him, I need to give him company, because at such a young age, if today I bring down negativity in his mind, he will never ever succeed in his life. With this thought, we continued our cycling practice.
Though cycling was a usual habit, this adventure required a unique training. Under such circumstances, being mentally fit was just as important as being physically fit. In the initial stages, due to lack of the mental strength, Arav was getting easily exhausted after beginning his practice. In those moments, Father Arav Bhardwaj and Grandpa Mr. Sen lifted his spirits.
Initially, when we started our cycling practice, उस time पे we realized that Arav is getting tired, not physically, but mentally. So I just told him कि बेटा, failure is just a state of mind and you have to keep yourself mentally strong. So what I did was I started counseling him, talking to him a lot during my cycling practice, and also I used to take him to various different places to divert his mind.
The boy who has grown up idolizing patriots like Netaji and Vivekananda cannot let fear set a base within him. It took no more than a few days to eradicate all fear from Arav's heart, and he began surpassing his father, Arav Bhardwaj, in his speed. They chose the town's footbridge to get accustomed with the highs and lows of the hilly terrains. Under the guidance of his father, Arav's cycling practices began at the crack of dawn before the morning crowd arrived.
When I was fully confident that now Arav is mentally as well as physically ready for this trip, it was then that we all family members sat together with a Indian map, and we thought, let us plan a route map, a total plan for the trip, where exactly we are going to stay, how many kilometers we are going to cover daily. But then this thought occurred to my mind that it is not possible to sit at home, and at that time we thought of this, that we need to go for recce to see the entire route, the entire trip and the road's conditions and all.
To avoid encountering hurdles in his journey, or to know what should be done if he faces trouble, and to know trivial details about the path, a thorough analysis is of utmost importance. Hence, the entire family sat in discussion, raising hypothetical scenarios, assuming different kinds of situations. Each member gave their own advices and suggestions on it. This family discussion decided that Uncle Rohtash Kumar Bhardwaj will set off with a recce team on car from Delhi to Imphal to observe the condition of the roads and to notify local authorities and various clubs and organizations. Arav, Atul and Mr. Sen will land at Imphal via flight on 13th April. They will meet up with their recce team and then together they will set off for Moirang. On 14th April, Arav and Atul will begin their cycling journey towards Delhi, followed by Mr. Sen and others on car.
Finally, I had to agree for the trip despite my all apprehensions. Then I started searching how to keep Arav safe and healthy medically during this trip. I researched a lot and I also took help of my colleagues, and I packed up several medicines, emergency kit, first aid kit, as well as electrolyte solutions, ORS, and some of his favorite food items we packed and kept in the car. Although his father is a doctor, I was still worried being a mother about his health and safety. So I tried to make all best possible arrangements for the same.
The route recce team set off towards Imphal with all their luggages and necessities on 6th April. The cycle company had been intimated and they assured the delivery of cycles from their Imphal branch.
When I saw my dad packing the cycle parts, food, medicines and clothes in our car, I also decided to pack some chocolates and chips in my bag.
When I reached Imphal and landed at airport, the thought came to my mind that this is the land where Indian National Army fought with British Army at Moirang and defeated them. And the whole scene came before my eyes as if the INA led by Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose has defeated the Britishers and Captain Shaukat Ali has hoisted the Indian tricolour at Moirang.
14th April 2022, the awaited day finally arrived. Every year, this historic day is granted its deserved capital honor through a sincere celebration in Moirang, in the presence of the present Chief Minister, Mr. N. Biren Singh. The special guest of this year's celebration was Arav. The entire Bhardwaj family and their close ones were present to witness the memorable proceedings. At the end of the main celebration, the Honorable Chief Minister announced the blessed commencement of Arav's cycle tour with flag off. Mr. Sen Bhardwaj, with the beaming eyes, saw his dream setting off towards fulfillment by the hand of its grandson, Arav. With a blazing heart filled with conviction, the patriotic cycle tour began with the blessings of the land where the first flag of independence had swayed in India, exuding the glory of the tricolour. A voice thundered within, "Chalo Delhi, Delhi chalo." This patriotic cycling tour started from the state of Manipur, a name that makes us envision Manipuri dance, delicious kabuk, a mixture of boiled rice and vegetables, martial arts, a special tribal costume for women, surmising a land rich in its festivities. In their journey, sometimes at different places, different clubs, and few interested people have kept them company for a few miles.
Best part of our journey was that throughout the trip that we met so many people who showered their blessings upon us. We were so happy that wherever we used to go, people used to meet us, they used to greet us, and they felicitated us. So this was the thing which actually motivated us, and whenever we used to get tired, it was that those feelings that me and Arav used to discuss, that Arav, those people are with us, they are behind us, they have some expectations with us.
A long journey, 2,612 kilometers. Setting off on such a long journey demands utmost patience and calculation. If the body gets exhausted at the very beginning, the rest of the journey will be difficult. So, it was decided that initially lesser miles will be covered. Not everything goes according to plan in these adventures, and that is precisely what happened. Torrential rain posed as their first hurdle after covering a little distance. They had to take a pause.
When we started our yatra on day first, there was very heavy thunderstorm and rainfall. And at that time I was little depressed that what is this happening? At that time Arav told me, Papa, don't worry. Dadu has told us that this is the first sign of success. Whenever we are planning a big thing, at that times usually such problems they come in our way, and don't worry, we will be able to achieve our target.
Almost half an hour later, the rain came to a sudden stop and the journey resumed. But the wet road now demanded caution, and they had to painfully abide.
When the rain started, I was really very irritated and frustrated that why this had to happen. But then we took it on the positive note, and we saw that the weather had become so cool and everything was so beautiful. I told Arav, beta, let us enjoy this journey. But however, you really need to be very careful so that you don't fall down and hurt yourself while cycling on this wet road.
Sometimes life brings up to a crossroad wherein we choose the one which seems right to us and we move on. Burdened by the hurdles of rain and then the wet slippery road, it was way past the scheduled time when they reached Imphal, and that concluded the adventure for the day, to be resumed tomorrow. The next day, the sun didn't show up, as it relentlessly rained in droplets since dawn. Arav was ready despite that. He just could not keep his excitement in check. It was decided that they would set off without bothering about the rain. It had rained heavily the night before as the roads were wet, and there were puddles here and there. As they passed through hurdles, they entered into a wondrous and heavenly area. A wide and sparkling roadway flanked on either side by huge mountains. And on that road, a child of 10 years is carrying forward the unimaginable dream, the one who fosters fire in their heart, and the one who is unwavering in their conviction is led by Netaji and Swamiji. This venture is not just to cover 2,600 kilometers of the journey, but also to get familiar with the state's people, ambience and culture. Simultaneously, to make these regional people aware of the significance of their cycling journey and the role of 14th April in the Independence Rally of India. Cradled between the mountains, this land of Manipur is just as serene as it is beautiful, just perfect for their venture. Resultantly, on the second day, they crossed the assigned 65 kilometers before time.
When we had planned this trip, our average daily target was of 80 to 90 kilometers. But however, because of the stay facilities and because of the safety issues, sometimes we cycled less than 50 kilometers and many times we cycled more than 100 kilometers also.
Third day, and it's told to leave Manipur and entered another state, Nagaland, with an aim towards Kohima, the capital of Nagaland. This day would require more distance coverage, this time of about 80 kilometers. What it takes to cover 80 kilometers on a cycle in one day, only a cyclist will know. Moreover, Arav is just 10 years old. Nagaland, the state of the farthest end of eastern India, is surrounded with evergreen trees. This state paints a picture in one's heart of tribal attires, pineapple, various species of birds, intricate bamboo art, and of being the land of festivities. The road here is of rough terrain, and so cycling was growing to become quite tiresome. At places, roads are being mended, at others they are broken, and at some the road has disappeared in the woods. Overcoming all such odds, they kept paddling on towards the destination for the day, Dimapur.
Because of the routine of cycling on a daily basis, we actually sometimes used to get bored, and that was the time when me and Arav actually spent some real quality time and we had so many discussions about so many things. Also at that point of time, I used to tell Arav, beta, let's start racing. And though it used to be a little risky, but still we used to race, keeping safety in our mind.
On the fifth day of the adventure, they entered Assam through Bokolia. The tea capital, Assam, brings with her the essence of Bihu, Kamakhya Mandir, Muga silk, rhinoceros, etc. In this cycle tour, the majority of the NH29 area are hills, making it tiresome to paddle on. Yet, the focused vision of reaching Delhi kept the strength and willpower alight. Wide and clear roads and pleasant weather was making their work easier. 5 days later, after covering 70 to 80 kilometers, they reached Nagaon. And on the 7th day, covering 114 kilometers, they reached Guwahati.
As per our planned route, we were initially supposed to cycle from Nagaon to Jagi route, which is a distance of 65 kilometers, and stay there overnight. However, we wanted to visit Kamakhya Devi temple at Guwahati. So we thought that let us keep a spare day to visit the temple. That was the reason that we covered the same distance in a single go. That means 65 plus 50 kilometers. So to visit Goddess Kamakhya Devi temple and to take her blessings, we cycled first time in our life more than 100 kilometers. That was our maiden century ride.
On the 7th day of my bicycle yatra on which I cycled from Nagaon to Guwahati, which is a total of 114 kilometers, I got confidence inside me that no matter how many kilometers it is, I can do it.
That is only natural when patriotism runs in one's veins and when they are brought up with the values, beliefs and principles of their father and grandfather. No hurdle is too high. It is as if they are born to defy the norms of a hurdle and challenge it. Within the ordinary, they are the ones who are extraordinary. Even the country heaves with the pride of these of our children. The journey from Imphal to Delhi will have them pass through each state comprising of different set of people and their different design of lifestyle, language, culture, clothing and food. Being familiar with India's such a harmony of unity among diversity is another purpose of the cycle tour.
Still being a mother, I was worried after I came back about his safety and whether he will be able to complete this journey. But there was a satisfaction also that this is our own country, our own people, so if any problems arise, they will be taken care of, and Arav is safe with his father and grandfather who are following him.
On the 12th day, they entered West Bengal through Alipur. Crowned with the hills and standing above the ocean, the breeding ground of Royal Bengal tiger, where the smell of Rasagolla sweetens the air along with the tunes of Baul, Bhatiyali and Pulligiti. Though it is the homeland of Netaji Subhash Chandra, they have to pass it by a distance of about 600 kilometers in order to stay on the assigned path. It was always a conscious attempt to cover as much ground as possible before the sun was overhead. So they began their journey at the crack of dawn. As the day began marveling at nature's artwork against the canvas of the sky, the spirits soared untamed.
After cycling so long, after reaching our destination, I video called my mother to tell them about my day.
Cycling for such a long distance for 32 days straight is bound to take a heavy toll on an adult, let alone a 10 years old. However, when your mind, heart and body rages with the fire of Netaji Subhash's courage, such mighty task seems like child's play. Keeping the warm reception of the people of West Bengal in fond memory, on the 15th day, via Kishanganj, they reached the state soaked with the memory of Gautam Buddha, Bihar. The budding ground of Buddhism and Jainism. Bihar reminds us of world's first university, the Nalanda University, the land of Chhat Puja, Thekua and Litti. In the overall journey, only after reaching Bihar did they have to cover 100 to 121 kilometers per day for 5 consecutive days, which truly is a cherishable memory. But why did they have to do this?
The journey in Bihar was quite tough for the simple reason that we came from cool weather to hot weather. Secondly, all the places in Bihar, they were located very far off because of the lodging facilities. So in Bihar, we cycled daily 100 kilometers per day, in which our highest, which was 120.5 kilometers, was in Bihar only. Other than this, you can consider that in our entire trip, we crossed 100 kilometers 9 times, out of which 5 times were in Bihar, and that too on consecutive days together.
Having covered a massive part of the journey, on 20th day, Arav and team entered Uttar Pradesh through Kushinagar. In this birthplace of Sri Ramachandra, besides the wondrous exhibition of 7th wonder of the world, the Taj Mahal, Uttar Pradesh is known for Kathak, mangoes and balusai.
As per the initial roadmap, the distance of Moirang Manipur to New Delhi was 2500 kilometers, and that was the reason that everywhere on the posters and the t-shirts we got 2500 kilometers printed. However, because we had to visit a lot of historical places of importance on the way, that was the reason why our journey crossed 2600 kilometers. We visited Faizabad and paid tribute at Gumnai Baba's Samadhi. There is a very popular belief that even after independence, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose stayed at Faizabad as Gumnai Baba, and that was the reason after his death, Samadhi was made at Guptar Ghat. Guptar Ghat is the same place where Lord Ram left for his Param Dham along with his Bhakts. Our journey was a tribute to the heroes of independence, and that was the reason that on the way we visited Red Hill, Imphal Peace Memorial, Champaran, Chauri Chaura, Kakori, Meerut Shahid Samarak, and we ended our journey at National War Memorial, Delhi.
While Arav was cycling out there, at home I was pretty anxious and restless. My days were so long, I used to wait for the evening to get a call from them that they have reached safely at their destination for the day.
At the last stage of the journey, just before reaching Delhi, on the 31st day, they entered Haryana through Sonipat. Haryana stays in people's heart for its cow treasury, folk songs, thread art and handicrafts.
In my cycle trip, I was feeling that there is some power inside me which is helping me do cycling. I thought that the power is not anyone other than Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
Leaving Sonipat almost as the day of 15th May came to an end. At the end of their cycle tour, on the 32nd day, covering a total of about 2,612 kilometers, they reached their destination, Delhi.
During the 32 days yatra from Manipur Moirang to National War Memorial New Delhi, there was no difficulty at all on the way, either physical, medical or technical. Even there was no cycle puncture also during this 32 days. Many of our group members used to think and ask that how it is possible without any difficulties the yatra could be completed in 32 days. But at the same time it used to come to my mind that when blessings of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose are with the boy, and the yatra was completed in 32 days covering 2,612 kilometers.
Their journey ends at the National War Memorial. There, on behalf of the Indian Army, the Medal of Indian Armed Force was bestowed upon Arav.
यह यात्रा
14 अप्रैल को शुरू हुई और आज 15 मई को 31 दिन की लंबी यात्रा के उपरांत कैनोपी पर पूर्ण हुई, जो नेताजी सुभाष चंद्र बोस की प्रतिमा को प्रदर्शित करती है। यह देशभक्ति, साहस और दृढ़ संकल्प को परिलक्षित करता है। हम उनके जज्बे को सलाम करते हैं। On behalf of Indian Armed Forces and National War Memorial, we are highly honored to welcome Master Arav Bhardwaj, who has completed a historic journey from INA Memorial Moirang, Manipur to National War Memorial, Delhi. He has covered a distance of 2,500 kilometers along with his father, Dr. Arav Bhardwaj, on bicycle. The journey started on 14th April and has culminated today, 15 May, after 31 days at Canopy area, which adorns the image of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. This is a truly inspirational story of patriotism, courage and determination. We salute his spirit. Thank you.
The significant long bicycle journey of a boy hence came to an end. But was this really the end? Or was it the beginning of a perspective that if your heart nurtures determination, conviction, idealism and concentration, it is possible to fulfill any goal of life? If this perspective of Arav casts its light on even one life in the coming days, his journey will then achieve completion. The inspiration of fire thus stays aflame through age after age.